Now we learn about force for the first chapter. In all textbooks, it is the first chapter, but in new text, it is the fifth chapter. I don't know why. Anyway, we learn about force, force of nature, natural force. So, find force first. Force anything, any agent. Let me say any external agent. Let me say which tries to move or stop the body is called a force. Here is it is a kind of push or pull that object can apply on each other through various mechanisms. They have force around define nan ya. Kakalu sata ila. Due to external force, a body can move or a body which is at rest can be made move, or the moving body can be stopped by applying this external force. So, we learn about force in this chapter. The first thing we have to know is linear momentum. What is linear momentum? It's just simply its momentum is given by P equal to P is momentum mv. Your arrow sign indicates that P is vector quantity. Since V is a vector, as we have already said that vector has direction and scalar has only magnitude or value. So what is a linear momentum? Linear momentum means suppose this is a body of mass 100 kg which moves in this direction with velocity 100 meter per second, 100 kilometer per hour, let me say, kilometer per hour. And I have another body of smaller mass 10 kg which moves with same speed 100 kilometer per hour, and a man is standing here they tries to stop these two bodies, a man A, let me say, and a man B tries to stop this 10 kg mass, and this a person A tries to stop 100 kg mass of a body, which these bodies are moving with the same speed 100 each. So the question is which body, which object, let me say this is P, this is Q, which object will give more pain na to a person? 100 kg moving with 100 km per hour or 10 kg move with 100 km per hour. Which one will produce more pain on a person? And the answer is clear. 100 kg, which is heavier. A heavier body will give more pain, more effect to the body. That is, this body has higher momentum, linear momentum, than this body. A mosquito move with 100 km per hour may strike me, but I will not feel any pain. But a body which is moving, which is 100 kg, moves with 100 km per hour, if it strikes me, I'll have severe pain or I may die. That is, this 100 kg or heavier body has higher linear momentum. That is the meaning of momentum. Which one? Momentum, if we say momentum means, is that body produce more pain, more effect to another body which it strikes. To linear momentum ka ti khan mai ta a chiang view thun ka ria tu na truck in min sut ai chuan to lai min su chuan lo feng to lai lo chak lo tlang chak view pon se min su pon sen na vak lo ma se truck chu min su ta sang ka kan na view ang. That's why what's the reason? Because truck has more momentum. So a ria the ma se if the truck moves slowly, very slowly means if it has less velocity. Then if the truck strikes me, hit me, and I will not feel any pain, I'll just say hi, because less velocity means less momentum. Here, if v velocity increases, momentum will also increase. If mass increase, momentum will also increase, and vice versa. So the more mass will produce more momentum, more velocity will produce more momentum. If these both are less or small, they will produce less momentum. Te khan kan chiang tura kan ngai ringota a linear momentum chung chang chuni. So linear momentum depends on two factors. So two factors. They are mass of a body. First one is mass of a body, and the second one is velocity. It's clear from the formula itself. From the formula, we can draw many informations about that particular quantity. Thì khan ni ta se kha chu kan chiang tura kan ngai linear momentum chu. Tu na chong kha cha definition ho te te. Then you have to write this on your note. What is linear momentum? What is its SI unit? What is its SI unit? Its SI unit is this one, and its dimensional formula is this one. You have to remember this too. Write on your note, because kg has a measure of mass. Mass is measured in kg. Meter per second is unit of velocity. Yes, it's right, correct. So linear momentum is unit is kg meter per second square. Kg is mass, so I can write capital M. Meter is length. Second is time, ml t minus 1. I can write 1, or you cannot just write. It's okay. Leave it. No need to write 1. mlt minus 1 is correct. Haka dimension formula niya. Kapag lutin siya delta ula. Chuanin tu na chuan. I think you have already learned Newton's laws of motion in class 9. So we'll go through again in more detail. First law. What is the origin of first law? Here I have a basketball which is placed on the table. I mean, it is placed on the table. I just placed on the table. So the basketball is a rest on the table. Then the first question is, when the basketball will move, roll down to the floor. Can you answer? You have 10 seconds. When the basketball will roll down to the floor. I have one condition here. Let me tell you the answers. If I apply a force on a basketball, so the basketball will roll down or fall down to the floor or the ground. That is the only one possible. If I fix the table here, and similarly, I have a basketball here, and it is moving towards me. And when, the question is, when this basketball will stop, that means it will stop if external force is applied opposite direction on the basketball so that it can stop. If I kick it, it will bounce back, then it will not stop, because the force of kicking is much more than the force of moving towards me. That's why that the difference force is used in moving back towards its original place. That is the physics. So two, first law states that any body which is at rest will always remain at rest unless an external force is applied on it. Or for a moving body, that body will always in motion unless and until we applied the same force on that body, the moving body. The best example is I have the sun here, and I have earth. The earth always revolves around the sun and it never stops as we know it, because the earth is always move and no external force can stop it. To stop the earth, the moving earth, we have to apply an external force in opposite direction. No one can stop the motion of earth. If you can stop, you will receive Nobel Prize and we all will die. Hilchelai chu external force can apply pot lo chon akal char mai ni. Chuan why the water flow downward? You have to answer that one. And submit it to me. Why the water always flow downwards? That's the number one. And number two, why it is difficult to move an object upward but easy to move an object downward? Give the answer scientifically. Mol mang deu zo pa deu ko chang lo la. Scientific deuin lo chang la. Lo submit don yam. Oh, khatiang question type lam huka exam na ka chuak da fo don ti ka riat tu ra nya. Em wange freezer ra chung la ma om ji an noi la man freezer bi ru ngai lo. Oh, khatiang te. Chon em wange fan hi ko on chen adin nga mai lo. An ti mai te. Motor hi em wange kan brake thuta amal ma bangte thirte kan thiante pitar putar po selovin kan va to chor thin. You can explain using physics or the kind first law of motion. So you're familiar with that first law of motion. So I'll stop here on this first law of motion. You have to know the statement. The statement is up to this one. This is the bold portion. According to the first law of motion, and up to this one, state the first law of motion. If the question is it, then you will write up to this. And I will stop here, and on the next video we will try to discuss the second law and third law.